Each year, radio personality CARE spends a week collecting the top wish list items for the Partners in Mission Food Bank. CARE will be at various locations throughout Kingston collecting food and funds. And CARE joins us today to tell you how you can be a part of her 7-day of caring. Welcome, CARE.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to hear all about how much you have collected, but first of all, you're talking about collecting the top items that the Mission and Food Bank needs. Can you tell me what those top items seem to be this year?
So this is a very poignant part of the campaign because we all know you look in the pantry and you say, well, I haven't eaten that in a few months. I can throw that into the bin. And yes, you can, because all donations are accepted very eagerly and happily by the food bank. But what it came down to for me was going down to the food bank itself and talking with the director, Dan Irwin, and asking him, what are those items that are going into these daily hampers, these weekly hampers, and helping these Kingstonian families? And so that's really where this came from. We want to know what they're running out of the quickest and the fastest, and they need the most. So we have collected peanut butter, canned fish, canned meat, pasta and pasta sauce. We've also collected diapers, anything baby-centric, so wipes and food, etc. So those were the top 5 wish list items this year. And when we're on site tomorrow at Giant Tiger, this is going to be the any and all. So we never turn away donations, but we really put an emphasis on those top 5 wish list items.
Why are you doing this?
Well, that's a great question because I get asked that a lot, like what, sort of motivates me to consistently try and give back during the 7 days. And the fact of the matter is that I'm a former recipient of the food bank. I was living in Waterloo Region. I had 3 children by the time I was 24. I've had to utilize social programs like social assistance. I actually did that twice. I've utilized the food bank, Smiles program for dental, geared to income housing, and I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to have to ask for help. And now I'm in a position where I can use my platform to give back to other families, and that is exactly what I want to do.
How long have you been doing this?
Since 2018. That was the first year we kicked off this campaign, and year over year, Kingston never ceases to amaze me. They are so good.
How do you look at your success, and is there a greater need this year than any other time?
For me, the metric of success is really remembering that one donation is one more donation. So any person that would spend their $5, their hard-earned cash on helping a struggling neighbor, to me, that's success. I get 1 box of cereal, that is 1 more box of cereal that we have to help these families, which I think is just amazing. And especially because, those who are struggling, it has had an uptick this year. Some of the statistics from the food bank, 8,400 families in Kingston were served by the end of November. 2,700 children in our community and Loyalist were helped this year through the food bank Partners in Mission. And we know that this is not just, one family or one parent families. This is 2 parent families, maybe both with 2 full-time jobs that just can't make it stretch. We're dealing with the fallout of the pandemic. We're dealing with inflation. Costs of living is going up, and we know that people are struggling. So this is what motivates me, and this is the metric.
What does it feel like to really contribute each year and see that you are helping this community?
Well, I feel like I'm just facilitating a cool thing to do. So I don't feel like it's me helping, but rather being an opportunity for all of us to help out. So if I can utilize, my wonderful media friends, if I can drive people on social media as well to tell people this is what's going on and to get that message across, then I'm just a vessel to showcase that Kingston is an incredible community. Kingstonians always step up. They always want to help out and pitch in. So it doesn't feel like I'm contributing specifically, but rather we as a collective are giving back to our Kingstonian families and neighbors who are really struggling. And that part, makes my heart explode year over year.
So, Carrie, you're going to be at Giant Tiger at the RioCan Center, and when is that?
That's all happening on Thursday, December the 19th. I'm going to be there from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. And we're outside Giant Tiger, which is, you know, for me, it makes this even more massive because people are driving by in the RioCan parking lot. They can see us out there under the tents with our space heaters collecting any and all donations. Certainly the emphasis is on the top 5 wish list items, but we're not turning anything away, including those monetary gifts. And then on Friday, December the 20th, I head back to the food bank. I'll be chatting with Dan Irwin and we'll get the final totals and tallies. Last year it was about 2,500 pounds of food and almost $3,000 in monetary gifts. So very excited to see how the success of this campaign all wraps up on Friday.
How do you think people feel when they are handing that box of cereal over or that peanut butter? Because I'm looking at the way you're talking and you're bubbling, and that's so nice to hear. It's not just a thank you. What do you think people are feeling when they're handing that to you?
There are, you know, people on every side of the spectrum. You know, when we're looking at where that socioeconomic status is, and people who don't have much to give are giving, and people who may at one point had nothing to give and now can, we're seeing it all across from each and every person, and they all come to me in the same fashion, in this way that they feel good. They know that they've done something awesome. Those full circle moments, they never get old when somebody will say to me, I'm a former recipient of the food bank and here is a donation. Last year we saw a family donate almost $500 in monetary gifts during the 7 days of caring, and they said at one point, we needed help. One family this year said to me, we just came from a home cooked meal, and that's why we're bringing all this peanut butter. And that never gets old. So I already know that Kingston has such a generous spirit. They're such kind people, Kingstonians. I've not been in this community super long. I've only been here 7 years. But every year I'm reminded why I live here, why I love living here, and why I'm so fortunate and blessed to be surrounded by people like this.
Care, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. I know you will be very successful. Thank you for everything you do for this community.
Thank you so much for having me.